So Primo version 2 is here, and I'm so excited to show you everything that we've been working on for this version. It's definitely our most significant release to date, with a lot of great usability features and especially a lot of improvements under the hood to make it the most stable release we've had so far. Starting off on the left-hand side, you can see we now have a side panel for all of your components that you can use to drag and drop those components directly onto the page. And my favorite feature of version 2 is that now you can click on any content on the page to edit it right in place. So this is similar to version 1 with the content sections, where you would go add section, add content, and you could edit content on the page. Now that all content is editable on the page, we no longer have a need for a content section. You can kind of make your own if this is the kind of simple component that you want. Now everything is components, which we're calling blocks. There are no more content sections. Everything is just blocks. So very straightforward and easy to build your whole site by dragging and dropping over your blocks, and very easy to update your content now by just clicking on all of the text and also all of the images. So here we have an image. You can just click on that to upload a new one or add in an image with a URL. And links as well are editable on the page. So you click on a link, you can change its label, and you can change its URL down here. So again, all of your content is editable in place, and if you want to edit something, for example, the repeater items or something that is a little bit more advanced to edit, you still have the fields view, which you can open up to manage all of your content. Up here in the toolbar, you can see we have some new UI for the page picker as well as the page and site. This is similar to a very early version of Primo, which we've gone back to. This is clearly a simpler solution. So you open up your page and you can see the HTML, CSS, and in the future, your JavaScript for your page as well as your fields. And if you look here, you can see now there's just a title and description. And for your site, there's just a favicon. So there's no more managing your kind of site fields like your logo here or site navigation or footer navigation from the site fields. Now you can manage those from the block itself. So here, if we click on edit, we can see the logo here with a static indicator and the site navigation, which is also static. And so whenever we change these, their content will change across every instance of this component across our entire site, which makes it a lot easier to manage that content versus having to go to site fields. Moving up here to the toolbar, you can see that there is no longer a save button, and that's because all of your changes are going to auto-save to the database, which is a lot more peace of mind whenever you're making changes compared to version 1. And that's a result of Primo now just being Primo Server instead of Primo Desktop and Primo Server. We found it was a lot easier to consolidate those two into one project and just have Primo depend on a backend so that you can have your collaboration and your image uploads and all of that stuff. And so that the code base becomes a lot simpler, which is the main thing behind getting rid of a whole bunch of bugs and making the tool a lot more stable than it was in version 1. Part of that stability also involved removing the hosts from within Primo. We found that it just made a lot more sense to have Primo deploy to a repository. Right now it's just GitHub. In the future it will be GitLab as well. You want to very easily, especially with modern hosts like Vercel and Netlify, Render, stuff like that. So that's Primo version 2. It is now in public beta. We will have a cloud version of this coming out soon, so keep an eye out for that. In the meantime, if you have any issues spinning up your Primo server, please feel free to jump into the Discord or the GitHub discussions or the Primo forum and let us know. We'll be happy to help.